waist and then got a particular taste. I just stuff my pockets in my face. Hey, let's have a debate. We talking about popping, I promise don't feel in the way. I took the bodies up out of my closet.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mr. I240. I'm back with another episode of y'all see the Summer Slam shirt. Vintage 2000, one of the greatest pay-per-views ever. And hey, Curry got that crazy ass concussion. And y'all know, if you know the pay-per-view, y'all know the pay-per-view. But anyway, today I'm back with another video. Most and first, I'm gonna give thanks to the man y'all call Lord Jesus Christ, Yahweh, or Israelite call Yahweh, Yahweh Thought, I think. That's my word, proud to say. You know what I'm saying? I want to say I appreciate the love that the city of Vicious been getting, because we all know. Hold on, let me backtrack. If it wasn't for him, wouldn't be no Page. If it wasn't for him, wouldn't be no me. Wouldn't be no Page. Wouldn't be no y'all. Now we can talk. I appreciate the last episode the Page been getting. You know what I'm saying? Today I ain't even no heavy episode. Today gonna be a light episode, but the next episode gonna be heavy, which will be, if y'all ain't seen it, well, they copyrighted my music, but the next episode after this will be Bret the Hitman Hart. And with that being said, I will put a polls thing on my day. Who should be episode 93? Should it be Yokozuna or Koko B. Ware? And I'll be writing another John did it, but I can't get into all that. But I just want to say, hey, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I miss y'all. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, let's get straight into it. Today's episode is about the man, the myth, the legend. Where, you know what I'm saying, of course we're talking about John Cena, the U.S. Open Challenge. But before I get to that, you know what I'm saying, I wrote all my stuff down, my facts and stuff like that. Let's get to this intro. And we all know John Cena is one of the best one of the best WWE wrestlers in WWE, one of the best wrestlers in WWE history. Many call him, the acronym I don't like to say, the GOAT thing, but many call him the best of all time, the best wrestler ever. But we all know John Cena announced at Money in the Bank a couple of months ago that he will be retiring in 2025, which I think he will show up for 36 dates, and then he'll be retiring at the end of the year. So I just want to recap the very title that he put on the map, which was the United States title, that he won at WrestleMania 20 versus The Big Show. You know what I'm saying? It took him to the next level, to World Championship, WrestleMania main events, classic feuds, and stuff like that. But he is a 16-time world champion. He is a 5-time United States champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner. He had many classic rivalries against Triple H, CM Punk, Randy Orton, The Rock, Edge, HBK, Kurt Angle, and many more. So, I think he won, in 2014, 2015, 2015, he did an open challenge for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship after defeating Rusev at WrestleMania. Because y'all know Rusev had cheated him in Fastlane in my hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. But he beat Rusev and he had the open challenge. So the first competitor is, starting with April 16, 2015, my main man, Cody Rhodes. At this time, he was going through a crazy change in his career. But Cody Rhodes had been, at this point before his career, he already been a tag champion and a Cardinal champion. So he already won 2 major belts of the company. But, because this was around the point Cody had just finished a feud with his brother Goldust. And this one, I think late 2014, 2013 they beat the Shield. I know late 2013 they beat the Shield. Yeah, no. Yeah, I know they lost the Road Dogg tag titles and stuff like that. But he had, and that was a terrible match at Fastlane too. That match was, they could have saved that feud at WrestleMania. Like the match that they had at the first AEW pay-per-view is the match we should have got at Fastlane. And John Cena had an open challenge, and Stardust was the first challenger. So they had an instant classic back and forth match. But Cena had got the win. But shortly after that, Cody Rhodes had left the company and went on to become the biggest star not only in WWE but wrestling today. Cause y'all know he left to went on to join Bullet Club, appearing at Ring of Honor pay-per-views where he competed against Kenny Omega, Nick Aldis, Jay Lethal, and I'm trying to see did he face Adam Cole. I don't think he did, but put him in the comments. And 4 or 5 years later, 2019, him and his best friends opened their own company. It took off, and at one point, the fans betrayed Cody Rhodes, and he left and came back to WWE, where he defeated Seth Rollins not once, but twice. Not twice, but 3 times. At WrestleMania, Backlash, and Hell in a Cell. He defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. He had a classic rivalry with Brock Lesnar where he earned Brock Lesnar respect after 3 hard-fought matches at Backlash, Crown and Jewel, and they broke the tiebreaker at SummerSlam. He's a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, and he also is the man that beat the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania, ending the 1,316 title reign. And look what we had back in full circle. Could we get Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes 3 real soon? Could we get that? So John Cena defeated him in a classic match. Then of course, another familiar foe of John Cena. This time it was John Cena versus Bad News Barrett. Bad News Barrett, which was Wade Barrett. And my nose. On April 13, 2015. Well, we all know Wade Barrett was one of WWE's brightest stars in 2010. He was one of the brightest stars in 2010 in NXT. In the first NXT competition that featured Michael Tarver, Ryback, David Otunga, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Darren Young, also Daniel Bryan, which is back to his original name, Bryan Danielson, which he was coached by Chris Jericho. And shortly after, I think Wade Barrett had won the competition. But shortly after the NXT, he and the competitors formed a group called the Nexus, where they made their debut and destroyed John Cena. Bryan choked out Justin Roberts, who got suspended. Daniel Bryan choked out Justin Roberts because Justin Roberts like he finna pass out. You know what I'm saying? And many more that night. But in their warpath, they destroyed Yasutatsu, John Morrison, Evan Bourne, and of course, they destroyed Cena at one point. And of course, they destroyed Undertaker and stuff like that. But Barrett and Cena had a full feud in 2010, because y'all remember, the Nexus was supposed to win at SummerSlam 2010, but John Cena made the bad call to put over the other WWE stars. Y'all remember the match? It was the Nexus versus Bret Hart, Edge, Great Khali, R-Truth, John Morrison, and the mystery partner of their choice, Daniel Bryan. But Wade Barrett, let's fast forward to his career. Barrett went on to become a 5-time Intercontinental Champion. You know what I'm saying? He had a feud with Randy Orton. So he was getting that big break and that shine. But one night in London, they was in London, Wade Barrett home country. Cena had an open challenge, and his familiar rival, now Bad News Barrett, answered the challenge. And after that, after counter and near falls, John Cena, with an FU and a bullhammer, John Cena prevailed and got the tough win and retained his championship. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta remember that. Then of course, we got another challenge. Except it's the Big Red Machine. So on April 20th, 2015. So basically what I'm reading, I'm giving y'all a short background to lead to the match. So be patient with me. We all know him as the Big Red Monster, the devil favorite demon, who made his debut in the famous Hell in a Cell match with HBK versus The Undertaker, where he cost his brother the match. And he'd been raising hell ever since. You know, in moments like where he set his brother on fire at the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? He set JR on fire. This is when he had to take his mask off when he lost to Triple H in the match versus title match. He burnt Shane McMahon private parts. And he tombstone Linda McMahon. But let's fast forward. This ain't the first time John Cena and Kane had a score to settle. Where you got Kane wanted John Cena to embrace the hate. He destroyed Zack Ryder because he felt like John Cena was being fake and not being real himself. This one, John Cena was heading towards facing The Rock at WrestleMania, and this one, Kane had came back from his injury with Mark Henry when he put him on the Hall of Pain. So, like I just mentioned, right here, Kane had returned to Raw doing Mark Henry versus John Cena. Following his injury from Mark Henry, putting him in the Hall of Pain, he chokeslammed Cena, and the reason for attacking Cena because he wanted Cena to embrace the hate, because he thought Cena was fake. And wanted him to embrace the hate, especially with Cena going into WrestleMania with The Rock, because Cena and The Rock really did dislike each other. Kane was vicious and he attacked Zack Ryder, and he was attacking Zack Ryder. And they had matches at the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber to settle the score. Kane went on to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but let's fast forward. And Cena went on to face The Rock, where The Rock beat him and Rock won, and I think Kane beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So, let's speed it up. John Cena is the U.S. champion, right? Then, it was answered by no other. Except this time, he traded his mask in for the corporate suit, because y'all remember, Kane had joined the Authority at that point. They had a tough match, but Cena got the tough win and retained his U.S. championship. Damn. Then, of course, the guy that he beat him at WrestleMania a few months prior to that. And I think Rusev lost the prior pay-per-view to it too. John Cena versus Rusev, July 13, 2015. With Rusev had been a dominant wrestler since making his debut July 4th, 2014, where he beating Jack Swagger, The Great Khali, Big E, Mark Henry, Big Show, and Sheamus. But he ran into John Cena, his toughest challenge yet. When they feuded for the U.S. title most of the year, where it all started was at the Royal Rumble, which led to an encounter at Fastlane in Memphis, Tennessee, where the Russian Bulgarian did the unthinkable by beating John Cena. But Cena had got the last laugh by beating him at WrestleMania and retained the championship at Extreme Rules in a chain match. And they had another title match, except Kevin Owens had attacked Rusev and John Cena. So that match ended in like a DQ or whatever. And I think they had another match, but Cena got to do it. get my things mixed up. Okay. Gotta make sure, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But now we got the infamous Sami Zayn debut. On May 4th, 2015, John Cena had faced Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, who was the original, damn, why is some of my damn nose? Who was the original NXT member back? He was an original superstar, paid the way. Well, he was the original OG of the NXT back in the early days. From 2014, from having classic matches with Neville over the NXT championships, he had classics versus Cesaro. He had a classic with Cesaro, 2 out of 3 falls. He had a classic with Corey Graves. But at one point, Sami Zayn had to say goodbye to the Black and Gold brand. After losing to or debuting Shinsuke Nakamura in Dallas, then of course they was in Canada, John Cena had an open challenge, except the Hall of Famer Bret Hart, who was just recently on Raw with Sami again, came out to introduce Cena next challenge. It was no other than the rookie Sami Zayn, which he had did a little thing and he had popped his shoulder, so he was already injured his shoulder in front of his whole count. They had a thrilling classic match, but John Cena had prevailed the victory over Sami, and like I said, Sami had injured his shoulder before the match. Now look at Sami Zayn now. He just defeated Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Now he back into the World Heavyweight Championship, which probably will be a Bad Blood most likely. So look at that. You know what I'm saying? Sami done a lot of things. They joined the Bloodline, went to Intercontinental Championships. Hell, he was even a manager at one point. Hell, Sami was a conspiracy theorist just like me. I believe that right there though. My love. But the next story. Now this is a friendship, but sometimes you gotta put friendships to the side. John Cena versus Zack Ryder. May 25th, 2015. From making an impact as an edgehead, but as an edgehead in late 2007, 2008, leading 2008. He been in a group with one of the faces. He was in a group with one of the faces at the time of the company, Edge, who's the top guy in the business. A multi-world champion, tag team champion, but he wanted to become his own star. He wanted to become his own star in his own way, and he did that in late 2011 by starting his own YouTube channel called the Z True Long Story, and creating his own championship called the Internet Championship. Even pushing and campaigning himself to a U.S. title match against Dolph Ziggler at TLC, which he won. And him and Cena became good friends during that time. But now 4 years later, John Cena is the U.S. champion, the very same belt that Zack Ryder won before. After defeating Rusev at WrestleMania 31, Extreme Rules, he had an opening challenge on Raw, and his friend and former U.S. champion Zack Ryder answered the challenge. They had a great match, and Cena retained, but Kevin Owens had attacked Cena. And then, of course, this lead me to John Cena versus Kevin Owens. This is the background story how the feud started. Kevin Owens confronted Cena when he was NXT champion. They had an intense mic promo battle, and he did the pop-up powerbomb on John Cena and disrespected Cena in the United States title. But also, Kevin discussed his issues with John Cena. He invaded SmackDown And this was the time he took Sami Zayn NXT Championship. And he challenged, and he had an NXT Open Challenge, which Zack Ryder answered. He even interrupted Cena US Challenge and never. So John Cena, well, both of them had an open challenge and never chose Kevin Owens' title. And then he did a pop-up bad bomb after MGK had pushed him. You know, because MGK was cool with Cena. He pushed Kevin Owens and he power bombed Machine Gun Kelly just like Eminem did with the hot track. I'm just saying Eminem won that battle. I'm sorry. So during the feud, they had two great classics. They had matches at Money in the Bank in the Elimination Chamber, and I also forgot the one at Battleground. So there was 3. Also, my boy had 2 matches with my main man, Cardio, who's now in AEW, betraying his homeboy, Bryan Danielson, with Jon Moxley, choking him out with paper bags. Damn! But it's a whole nother story. So, Cesaro debuted in 2012 in the U.S. and plus hold on. Cesaro would debut in 2012 versus his tag team partner, Tyson Kidd. He defeated Santino Marella for the U.S. Championship. That year, he defeated Great Khali, R-Truth, The Miz, and Sergeant Slaughter. During his first reign, he insulted Americans over obesity. Americans is fat. We all fat. I just got to eat some chicken. I'm sorry. But that year, he fought. During the year, he fought Christian, Ryback, Zack Ryder, and Cena himself. And in 2013, he fought the Chris Jerichos, The Miz, Randy Orton, Sin Cara. But then he joined the underrated tag team, the Real Americans, with Jack Swagger and Zeb Colter, which is Dutch Mantel. They fought the Usos, the Primetime Players, the Los Matadors, and tons of fun. But in 2014, he won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal match. Where he won the Andre Battle Royal. He had matches with Randy Orton, Ryback, Cena, Dean Ambrose, Kofi Kingston, RVD, and Jack Swagger. And then he had a failed experiment with Paul Heyman as his manager. They just didn't gel. They just didn't gel well. But in 2015, he did form a tag team with Tyson Kidd to become tag team champions. And then they lost to New Day. And shortly after that, Tyson Kidd career had ended due to Samoa Joe with the move. But on June 20th, he did answer the challenge to John Cena. But it was interrupted by Kevin Owens. But then they did have another match on July 6th, but Cena got the dub and he lost. You smell me? Okay, I ain't skipping that. Right. Then of course, you got John Cena versus the man, Seth freaking Rollins. John Cena, well, my bad. In 2012, Seth Rollins became NXT champion against Jinder Mahal. He debuted as a Survivor Series with his brethren Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley, and Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief. As the Shield, they would run wild and destroy everybody in their way. Ryback, Orton, Sheamus, Kane, Bryan, Undertaker, and many more. But then, of course, 2014, he betrayed his brothers and joined the Authority after they defeated Evolution not once, but twice. And then shortly after that, he won Money in the Bank and became WWE Champion at WrestleMania. But he had the open challenge. But Cena had an open challenge and the challenge was answered. Yeah, Cena had an open challenge for the U.S. title. And they had a classic match where Rollins broke John Cena's nose. But Seth Rollins won the United States title a few weeks later. At SummerSlam, it was title versus title thanks to Jon Stewart. But John Cena did regain his championship at the Night of Champions. Then, of course, September 28th, 2015. The New Day was having a great year in 2015, dominating the tag team division, defeating Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, the Primetime Players, even the Dudley Boys, and Lucha Dragon. They had moments with Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys and Seth Rollins. Hell, they even danced with the Authority. And they had a great interview with Michael Cole with positivity and all that magic stuff. But Cena did have an open challenge on Raw, except this time Xavier Woods answered the challenge in a great back and forth match where Cena prevailed. Then, of course, he fought another member of the New Day. It was we're going to get to that. It was John Cena versus recently injured from his neck injury, hope you get better, Big E on October 5th, 2015. Big E and John Cena had a first encounter when Big E debuted during Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee versus Cena, when Big E took out John Cena during the earlier part of his career. But after breaking away from Dolph Ziggler, Big E won the Intercontinental Championship against Curtis Axel in Nashville 3 years after his debut. Well, the next year. I don't know why I put 3 years, but the next year. But 3 years later, he was in the hottest wrestling tag team, which is the New Day. So he answered the challenge for John Cena U.S. Championship. After Woods' failed attempt, he failed too. I feel like I'm missing one. But it's okay. And my last one was John Cena versus a familiar face, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler debuted in 2006 with the Spirit Squad, which they was involved in DX versus the McMahon angle, but then they even won the tag team titles. But the Spirit Squad died in November 27, 2016 and got sent back packing to OVW. But we didn't see Dolph Ziggler until 2009, where he started feuding with Rey Mysterio over the Intercontinental Championship. He even beat Rey for the title. Then, of course, in 2010, he fought Daniel Bryan, JTG, Kane, Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin. In 2011, he was joined by Vicky Guerrero as a manager, where he faced Edge for the World Heavyweight title at the Royal Rumble. And he had a champion versus champion match versus CM Punk. But then, of course, him and Cena, he feuded with Cena late in 2012 in a ladder match at TLC for Dolph Ziggler Money in the Bank, which Cena lost thanks to AJ Lee. But 3 years later, Cena was the United States champion, and he had an open challenge where Cena got the win. Let me make sure I ain't got nothing before I end this. Let me make sure I got all my information, because I know there's 2 challenges on here that we all know who prevailed in. Yep, the only names I hear. But I know that it's 2 challenges y'all can probably be missing. Was a challenge that he had against Adrian Neville, which he won, and of course he had a back and forth match with Dean Ambrose. But with that being said, I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and the next episode will be Bret the Hitman Hart. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.
say my grace and then I got a particular taste. I just stuff my pockets in my face. Hey, let's have a debate. We talking about popping, I promise don't feel in the way. I took the bodies up out of my closet.